Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Ricky 365. My name is Freak and this is your channel. Today we're going to be talking about the medboard process, the timelines and things like that, okay? So pay attention because I've been getting a lot of emails, a lot of messages about, hey, timeline. This is only for active duty people or for people who are going through, they are in active orders, okay? And you're going through the medboard process while in orders, okay? So one more thing, guys, I got braces, so if you hear some noises from the mic in my mouth, I can't help it, so sorry. So step one, guys, step one is your referral, okay? That's when your doctor tells you, hey, I think that the medboard will be the best for you. That's a scary time. Because on that moment is when your doctor pretty much tell you your career is over. You know, you're done playing soldier, you're done playing Iron Man. It's time for you to look for a new career, okay? And I will tell you, I will give you a bunch of advice about it. We can spend hours talking about this, but today we're just gonna focus on the timeline, guys, okay? So step one, doctor tells you the best action for you to get better, or the best action for the military with you and your career is to go through a med board and to see if you fully qualify. So that right there, guys, the med board process, you know, the referral should take your doctor or whoever doctor is recommending your med board. It could be your behavioral health people, it could be your primary health care, it could be your physical therapy, it could be somebody that did an x-ray on you, it could be any doctor. Maybe you went to a surgery and then after surgery didn't play good and now you are in big problems, big trouble. So med board might be the way to go. So the referral should take about 7 days, give it or take, okay? Why is that? Because the doctor that initiates, or the physician that initiates your med board is going to put a package together. It's going to get information from all the doctors that take care of you, and then it's going to send that package to a higher level, in some cases a surgeon or an army doctor who works for the battalion or the brigade or the division or the corps, whatever level you work, so they can evaluate and sign on it, okay? You in the military, in the army, you need to have 2 signatures to start your med board. So I will say to you, if you know your surgeon and you know you're getting a med board, make sure that your surgeon gets noticed. I'm not telling you to go talk to him or her. I'm saying to you, make sure that you let your leadership know that this is coming. That's my daughter. Okay, if you heard some noise, that's my daughter, but I told her to please give me some time. So anyway, so make sure that you tell your leadership, so your leadership let your surgeon know, so he knows that your package is coming, so he can either concur or not concur, and then you go from there. Next step will be your VA claim, guys. Your VA claim should start 7 days after you get your second signature on your med board package, and it's approved. Throughout all this time, you should be looking at your med pros. If you're in the military, in the army, I don't know the program that the Air Force or the Marines uses, but for the Army, we use something called med pros. So you need to make sure that your profile status changed from 1 to 2 to 3 or to 4. I think 4 is the one for the med board, or for the permanent profile that you must have in order for you to start your med board. Doctors are very how can I say, are very discreet when it comes to give you a profile number, give you a permanent profile, because they know if they give you a 3 or 4, they need to start talking about med board. So step 3, guys, will be your CMP exam, or compensation and pension exam. When that start? That will start 31 days after your initial referral. Okay, which we're talking about maybe right now we're into 2 months and we haven't even done anything as far as your med board. You're probably going to receive a letter from the VA saying, hey, we're going to do these exams of you. We need you to go to these places, and they give you a couple of appointments. Okay. Next thing is going to be your step number 4 will be your med. Okay, that's when you're at this point. Your PEBLO is going to introduce yourself to the Integrated Disability and Evaluation System, or IDES. Okay, that's when your PEBLO is going to process the result from the CMP exams after they return to their PEBLO. Okay, because the exams, the results don't go back to you; they go back to your PEBLO. So we're talking about that Step 3 is your CMP exam. Step 4 is 20 days after that, okay? Remember that when I forgot to mention, after step 1, okay, after you get your referral, okay, once your VA claim start on the step number 2, that's when you're gonna go see your PEBLO, okay? You're gonna get an appointment, you're gonna see your PEBLO, that's when everything starts, okay? Your PEBLO is gonna give you your dates for your CMP exam, step 3, okay? And then the CMP board is gonna, or doctors are gonna send the results to your PEBLO, okay? They have a system, don't worry about it, you'll be fine, okay? So between the start and now, I'm talking about 2 months, yeah? But I would say more like 3 months, maybe 3.5 months, because there's a lot of people getting med boards in the military. Why is that? Because more people are aware that there's benefits for people, and that you don't need to suffer and get shafted out because you failed to meet military standards, okay? If you're really hurt, if you're really injured, you need to seek medical treatment, okay? You need to seek the best care possible within the military, okay? Now, step 5. Step 5 will be your PEBLO. Your PEBLO, once they receive all the information, so after your PEBLO receive all the information, that's when the PEBLO is going to sit down, pull all the papers together. The PEBLO has to do some work. PEBLO has to take a look at your paperwork and say, am I going to submit this for up to the Army board? Because they have to, either or, but they have to take a look at it and say, it's going to qualify, it's not going to qualify. And then your PEBLO has to say, these things should be service connected, these things not service connected, based on the information they get from the doctors. Your step 5, when your records goes to the Army board, the Army board can say, I know the PEBLO recommended this to be service connected, but we find that these other 4 are also service connected, and we disagree on this one. So the Army board will have the final say on what's service connected, what's not service connected. Okay. Then from that, they will send the results back to the PEBLO. The PEBLO will, in conjunction, will submit this. This is on a system on IDES. They will submit this to the VA, and the VA will take a look at everything the Army say, everything the PEBLO say, everything that you say, the doctors say, and the VA will come with their own rating. 99% of the times, the rating from the VA, the rating from the Army are not the same, unless you get 100% from both. Okay? So after the VA makes a decision, and the PEBLO, the Army board and PEBLO, they make their decision, they call you back into the office. When they call you back into the office, that's when you go step 7 or 8. Step 7 is when PEBLO makes a decision with the VA decision. They put it together and they're about to present it to you. Step 8 is when you make your decision. That's when the PEBLO calls you and then it sits down with you and tells you, man, you got 100%, everything is fine, look at this, you're gonna get 100%, or you're gonna get 30. Rather, that's when you stop. And I need you to listen to this right here. Listen to me. I don't care if you get 100% military and 100% VA. You need to find your counselor. You need to find your attorney. Make sure that you see your attorney. And make sure when you go see your attorney, you tell them, is this paperwork looks right to you? Is everything, is all the T's crosses? You know, you need to make sure that the paperwork that you're getting, because it's going to be really hard for you to go to the VA, depends on where you live, and get things corrected, okay? And it's difficult. It's better when you're in the military that you have every tools and then you got the time to do it. Once you're out, guys. And then it's going to be very difficult, and I can only answer so many questions per day. I try to answer all you guys, but the best advice I can give you is while you are in active duty or while you're still working through the process, make sure that you take care of yourself, okay? So go see your attorney, go see your attorney, go see your attorney. Do not sign anything until you see your attorney, okay? Okay, now, step 9. Step 9 is when, if you don't agree, okay, the PEBLO tells you, hey, you can make a formal Physical Evaluation Board, or FPEB. You can see a board, but the whole process is that the way they show you in the internet is like, no, you got to go to a board. It's not just like that. Like I tell you, you tell the PEBLO, hey, I want to go see, I don't agree. It's not that I don't agree, it's not that I agree, it's that I want to get counseling. You go see your attorneys, you will have attorneys provided to you by the whole system that will represent you and will take care of these situations. Maybe when you went down range, you got blown up in driving a vehicle on Iraq or Afghanistan, and then that caused you some back problems, and then it's annotated. And then when you got your report, it says back injury, not service connected. You're gonna ask yourself, but wait a second. If I got this injury while on service and I'm deployed, why is not service connected? You know, and that's when your attorney is gonna tell you, yeah, we're gonna fight for this to make sure that they change this to service connected, and we're gonna try to make sure that this is put as combat related in the present of imminent danger. Okay, it's gonna help you out. Trust me. Okay, so if you appeal, we go step 10 when the VA reconsider your case. Most of the times, I would say 60% of the times, based on my own experience, the attorneys are able to get you an answer without having a formal board, because having a formal board takes a lot. And other thing that you need to know is that for the formal board, you don't have to go to the formal board. Okay, your attorney can go without you. If your attorney feels confident that, hey, I can fix that no matter, okay, we'll be fine. Okay, but if you don't feel confident about your attorney, you better get your ass to the board. Okay, trust me. And I always tell this to people: 5 things. Every time you're getting services by somebody after the military or in your out process in the military, every time you make a connection with somebody, you got to make sure that you and that individual have 5 things in common. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5. Okay, what I'm putting into this puppet right here, internal joke. What I'm saying to you guys is, just because you deploy and he or she deploy, it's not a good fit. Just because he was Army and you're Army, it's not a good fit. Just because he made 20 years and you make 20 years, not a good fit. Just because he was in the same branch as you, transportation or signal or AG, not a good fit. Now, if you both are fans of the same team, you guys are, and you have all these other things in common. Maybe you guys are from the same neighborhood. Maybe you guys have the same accent when you guys talk. Maybe you guys eat at the same place for lunch. And you see, if both of your spending spouse are friends, what I'm saying, 5 things. Trust me. If you can fight 10, better for you. But anyway, the next thing will be after the VA reconsideration. You get no other options. You get in step 11, which is your transition. That's when you take your time to take all your classes. They make sure that you get any opportunities that you can have to get a certification or to get your resume class. By this time, you should not be doing nothing on your unit. You should be just transitioning. Okay, if your unit is trying to pull you out to do extra duties if it's trying to pull you out to do inventories and it's trying to pull you out to do all these crazy things, I got to tell you that you have a very bad unit and a very poor leadership structure in your unit. And why is that? Because from the moment that you receive message from your doctor that you're getting a med board, and you go tell your platoon leader, platoon sergeant, company commander, first sergeant, whatever, sergeant major, at that moment they shouldn't be like prepping, all these guys getting out, we need to give them his time. Okay, because when they retire, I'm sure that they won't have to take their time to retire with nobody messing with them. Okay, and I know a bunch of higher rankings, so their officers and senior non-commissioned officers, when it's time for them to retire, I'm not talking about 6 months. I'm talking about when it's time for them to retire. Okay, they get this. You're gonna do this simple duty. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So make sure that the same advantage is provided to everybody else. Give them time for them to go through the med board process. Okay, because it's very hard. It's very, very hard that people ask me questions about how do I do my DD move. People don't know because why not? Because people at the unit, the leadership that they got, they're not too smart. And I'm not pointing fingers on nobody. I am so happy to tell you, but I feel like, man, they're letting you down. Because I know they've been through that shit before. I know they got soldiers before that through the same situation. But what they do, they say, fuck it. Okay? They say, no, I need to do inventory. So I need to do, guys, from the moment when you're primary doctor and you're surgeon and you get that med board going, you need to start passing your duties down to the next person. Closing counseling statements or NCOERs or OERs. You need to be like prepping yourself within a month and a half, 6 weeks. Prepping yourself so you have nothing tying you to the unit. Because if you stay tied to the unit until your last minute, you're doing a disservice to the unit and to yourself and your family members. Okay, trust me when I say that. I went through the same bullshit. Okay, and I regret that the leadership that was given to me is lucky, was so fucked up that they didn't understand how to deal with individuals. Hopefully now they understand, but it was really bad. Anyway, guys, you need to transition, and you need to have your mind free while you transition, so you can make the right decisions, select the right path, select the right state where you're gonna go, select the right house, buy a house, sell your house, kids from school to a school. I mean, it's difficult, guys. It's very difficult. Last step is when you receive your VA rating decision. That's when 30 days after you separate from the military. Some of you guys, the majority of you guys, are getting TDRL, which temporary retirement. TDRL decision means that you're in a temporary retirement status. They can still call you back into active duty. I never see nobody being called to active duty after they're being out or the military, but it can happen. And then after that, they will review your case within a year or 2 years, not to make it worse or to make it better. It's just to make sure that you're still going to your appointments, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, making sure that you're not homeless, making sure, things like that. So I talked to you guys about the med board process. I really hope that you guys took advantage of this. I hope that you guys are able to learn from this. Maybe some of you guys are coming to this channel just to look at me and to say, oh, he's a fuck up, oh, piece of shit, oh, douchebag. Understand, got you. How you feel about me, that's fine with me, okay? But I want you to use what I just told you today and make it part of your tool bag when you help your soldiers, you have some understandings, okay? First sergeants, listen to me. Company commanders, listen to me. Sergeant majors, and battalion, brigade commanders, they know this. 100%. They get briefed every month by the surgeon. They get in every time they have a meeting, and they have the weekly meetings. They talk about med boards. They've been through this so many times. There's no excuse for those guys. This is directed to the first class supervisor, platoon sergeant, platoon leader, okay? Some brand new first sergeant, that never been through this situation. Listen to this, okay? Help your soldiers, okay? Because when you are out, you will want the same benefit to you, okay? Now, the last thing, guys, is do not rush the med board process. You do no good to yourself or to your loved ones or to your future, to the future you, if you rush your process. I will say to you, if you get chances to go to a class, if they start your med board and you are at 18 years into the service, extend. You can still get a med board, and then you can request to stay active duty until you're 20 years, so you can retire with full benefits, or you can get TERA, which is early retirement. I would recommend for you to do that. smart guy telling you. It's kind of difficult to get jobs in the civilian sector right now. If you don't have a trade, certifications, if you're not in IT or medicine, your jobs are slim. If you're in transportation and you think that you're going to be working in a port tomorrow, I don't think so. If you think that all truckers get paid $100,000, I don't think so. If you think that by getting a heavy wheel operator, if you think you're a mechanic and you're going to go to work down range and you're going to make $200,000, I don't think so. It's very difficult, guys, to get high-paying jobs right now without a bachelor's degree and without something that certifies you as X, Y, or Z, as a doctor, nurse, registered nurse, CPAs, finance degrees. It's very difficult. IT, if you're in IT, I will say to you, if you don't have your Security Plus and your CCNA and your CISSP, you're not going to make 120. Okay, you probably make 70, 65,000. If you don't have a top secret clearance, it's going to be more difficult to you to get a job. Okay, so you got to have a balance of traits in your resume for you to be that top candidate. Because guess what? There's hundreds of people graduating from college every semester. Every 8 weeks, people graduate from school with a bachelor's, with a master's, and they send them right from school to Purdue. They have an amazing program where they teach you to get IT certifications. I'm telling you, it's difficult. What I'm trying to tell you is difficult. So hopefully you hear what I'm saying to you. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you get to like what I say. Hopefully you get to subscribe to the channel. And the last thing I'm going to tell you guys is that if you have any question, okay, comment on the video, on this video, and then like the video or make sure that you come back, subscribe to the channel so you can come back. So my videos keep posting on your feed on YouTube. So you post a question on the channel and you come back to my video, be like, oh, let me see what he replied to me, what he said to me. And let me tell you, so far I've been answering every single question of everybody that I got. If you look at through my videos, you will see that you get either an answer from me or from one of my moderators, which right now is Danny and Diesel. Okay, those are the tags on the handles on YouTube. So hopefully they're also very smart individuals that went through the process and they know the shit. So I'm going to talk about a subject right now which has to do with this. Okay, and I'm going to talk about sexual harassment or sexual assault. Okay, guys, so talking about sexual harassment or sexual assault, the VA described those as military sexual trauma. Okay, the VA don't get too deep into this, but the VA don't pay disability for rape or for sexual harassment. They do not. They might give you a rating, but the rating will be 0. But the VA will pay you disability based on any conditions that emerge from that life traumatic experience, or as they call it, military sexual trauma, PTSD, pain, you name it, guys. It's so difficult to talk about it. That I will say to you, if you're going through something like this in the military, remember that there's options for you. Okay, your SARC, your VA rep, your sexual harassment response coordinator, all those guys, they should be able to pull you in the right direction. And then if you need any answers from me, make sure that you go to my YouTube page. There's a bunch of links on my About page where you can email me directly and I can put you in contact with people that can help you out. I still have my contacts from the military. I was a SARC representative at the brigade level, and I still my license valid because now I am a representative for for the work that I do, where I work. So, I think I'm done. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel. And expect a video from me at least every day, guys, because I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy helping you guys out. All right, have a good day. Bye.